Hey guys, what's up? I recorded this video a couple days ago, and then I realized that the audio from YouTube wasn't going through OBS, so I did the whole video just analyzing silence. But anyway, I watched this last episode of Euphoria a few days ago, and we see Labrinth at the end of it. And he produced and wrote the soundtrack. And he's a phenomenal singer, even more phenomenal producer, and he has a great voice. And I thought I'd kind of like go through him singing at the end and analyze what he's doing vocally. He has these beautiful choir sections in some of his songs in the soundtrack, right? And they're really beautiful. But anyway, yeah, I wasn't like super into the show in the first season. Like I kind of liked it, but for me it was kind of like, okay, it's about high school drama, and I just wasn't super captivated. I thought that Zendaya was kind of the only really interesting part of the show as a character, for the most part, not entirely. But I think in the second season they really cranked up the writing and made it more intriguing, more captivating. So I'm going to continue watching it, but anyways, so yeah, Labrinth. Let's get into the end of this episode when Rue goes in the church and we see Labrinth singing, and here we go. All right, so just right off the bat, let's get into it. So we have, "Hey Lord, you know I'm fighting," right? So I would call this kind of like a very light medium mix. And when I say that, I mean he's mostly, almost entirely resonating in his mask. Maybe just a tad in his chest, but it's very light. You can tell he has a lot of control right off the bat. You can tell he's trying to be dynamic with his voice, and later on we'll see that he brings in a little more power behind his higher notes. So he's kind of, when we're sitting in this area, like, "Hey Lord, you know." So there's like a light support going on with the diaphragm. He's not using a lot of support and being like, "Hey Lord, you know," right? Because that would be kind of too abrasive off the bat, right? So, "Hey Lord." So you kind of have to sing lightly in this area. You kind of have to play with how much air you're supporting with, right? "Hey Lord," and you're also playing with how much air is coming through your vocal cords. So if you're singing right on your chords the whole time, it would sing more like, "Hey Lord, you know I'm fighting," right? So if you allow more air to come through your vocal cords as opposed to, "Hey Lord, hey, 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 hey Lord, hey Lord," right? Then we get a more softer, nice kind of softer tone to what we're singing. And then we can build upon that and get a nice dynamic to whatever song we're singing. So let's listen one more time. And at the end of his notes, you can hear he kind of drifts off into what almost sounds like a soft falsetto, but it's not falsetto, because if it was falsetto, you would hear at least a slight disconnect, like, "Hey Lord, you know I'm fighting." You know, that was bad, but "Hey Lord, you know," something like that, right? So he's kind of just trailing off into the same soft medium mix. "Hey Lord." So right at the end, he's just allowing more air to come through the vocal cords. "Hey Lord." And he's also simultaneously kind of making the placement go from more forward to a little more back to give it a slight classical kind of feel instead of a forward nasally placement when he trails off. So it's not, "Hey Lord," right? It's, "Hey Lord, hey Lord." So it's going kind of from here from here to a little back. Okay, let's keep going.
Hey Lord, you know I'm fighting. I'm sure this world is done with me.
So same thing. We have a nice little chord change there with the I'm sure. What does he say? I'm sure this world is done with me. And it also helps how he's kind of using his breath very lightly, and how I said not super on the vocal cords, singing straight on your vocal cords, letting some air come through. It's not, I'm sure this world is done with me, 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 it's me. If you if you ease up on your support, you can do little runs like that easier and with a lighter placement. I know, I'm sure this world is done with me. So you can hear that air coming through. It makes it a little easier if you're softer for little runs like that. The Weeknd does very similar things with his runs, a softer approach.
Hey Lord, you know it's true. Now the tide is rolling down.
So then we go from that medium soft mix, flip straight into falsetto. Now the tide is rolling in, right? Now the tide is rolling in. So flips right into falsetto.
Rolling down. I ain't trying to win.
That's all falsetto. Maybe a tiny bit, placing it a tiny bit in his mask. So I ain't trying to win. Letting more air come through right at the end there, right? So it's not, I ain't trying to win. Right? That would be completely head falsetto, 100% head resonance. Leaning it just a tiny bit into the mask gives it that different placement and timbre. I ain't trying to win. Let's hear it one more time.
I ain't trying to win.
Right, you can hear it right on the I, especially. I ain't trying to win.
Let it take me.
Let it take me. Right?
Let it take me.
Still all falsetto.
Now I'll be on my way.
Now we're back into mix. I'll be on my way.
How long can I stay in a
Back to falsetto.
place that can contain me?
Let's hear that one more time.
Contain that in a place that.
Now he's so kind of soft there, right? He's not like having a huge strong falsetto like in a place, right? It's kind of like he's kind of holding back in a place. He might be flipping into whistle voice there, just like, which if you don't know what whistle voice is, it's basically the bridge above your falsetto. So instead of in a place, in a place, so the whistle voice is using an even thinner part of your vocal cords to thin out the tone. I think that's what he's doing.
In a place that can
In a place that can contain me. In a place. Sounds like kind of sticky.
contain me. Hey Lord, you know I'm tired.
So right there, same thing, medium mix kind of thing. He just adds a little bit more power, a little more chest. Hey Lord, kind of thing, right?
Oh, I'm tired.
You know I'm tired.
Hey Lord, you know I'm tired.
So you can hear there, he's mostly masked. Hey Yeah, so pretty much all masks there. Mask, medium, mix. Let me hear it again. Hey! So yeah, pretty much all. Same thing. Hey! Staying really bright.
I'm sorry I let you down.
Right?
Why?
Beautiful.
Because I'm not a good person.
Really high falsetto. I think that's probably whistle as well. So it's not, again, it's not, right? It doesn't sound like that quite. It sounds like the tone sounds thinner to me, like more like a whistle. You can even hear it. You can even hear that right before it. Right?
Why?
Because I'm not a good person.
That's not true.
Same thing, all here. He's all here the whole time. Hey! So we got G to G4 to G sharp 4. So it sounds like C minor.
Yeah, but you don't really know me anymore.
Yes, I do. I'm always with you.
Anyway, that's pretty much the gist of it. It's a beautiful song. He has a beautiful voice. What a great way to end the episode as well. Anyway, if you like this, if it helped you in any way, please like and subscribe. I'd really appreciate it. If there's any other singers you want me to analyze or anything like that, please let me know in the comments, and I'll see you next time.